guys, my name is Kristy Schuler, and today I'm going to be doing the small Authortuber tag. So I was tagged to do this video by Katie Wilson. She is one of the collaborators who created this tag along with Brooke Passmore and WriteHollyDavis. So if you haven't checked out their videos, I'll link all three of them down below to give them proper credit for the original tag. And yeah, so you can go check them out. Question number 1 is introduce yourself. What are your top 2 favorite genres to write, and what genre do you think you'll never write? So yeah, like I said, I am Kristy Schuler, and right now I'm writing contemporary. My debut and my next novel are actually going to be contemporary. I have several novels planned out, sort of like a writing timeline. So these 2 novels are going to be contemporary, and then after that I am branching out into science fiction. So those I would say are like my top 2 favorite genres. And then as far as a genre that I don't think I'd ever write, I don't know about a genre entirely, but one thing you'll never see me writing are like gory scenes, any kind of like super violent scenes. I just am very averse to those. I don't really like a lot of violence and things like that. It's hard for me to watch. And it's funny because I would be tempted to say I would never write horror, but I feel like I don't want to rule that out. I could definitely see myself doing something along the lines of like a Crimson Peak sort of a theme. Violent, gory, bloody, those kinds of things you won't see me writing. So okay, so question number 2 is how long have you been on AuthorTube? So I started my AuthorTube channel back in June. I believe it was the beginning of June, and at the time I'm filming this, it's the end of August, so about 3 months. And question number 3, what is your video setup, lights, camera, microphone? Okay, so here's the thing. I'm still a small channel, and I know that a lot of people don't really invest in a lot of equipment until they're a lot bigger and have more of an audience. But for me, I just saw YouTube being more of a long-term thing for me, and so like I was totally fine with investing in equipment for it because I just figured why not if I can. I'd like all of my content, you know, from the beginning of my channel, I'd like it to be the best that it can be. Not to say that it won't improve. I'm sure it'll improve, you know, down the line. But yeah, I have a set of box lights, and then I actually just recently purchased a ring light, and I actually have a microphone now. So hopefully I just now got my microphone. So I'm hoping that the audio is going to be a lot better from now on. I thought it was pretty decent. I mean, I've got like a decent DSLR, and I thought it was pretty decent before, but I'm hoping it'll be a little bit better. What was I gonna say? Oh, but as far as the brand, I mean, I have a Canon 80D DSLR camera. And then other than that, I'm pretty sure everything is the newer brand, if that's how you say it, Neewar, I don't know. It's like Neewar, like all of my equipment's under that brand, and I really like it. I really like all the equipment. Okay, so question number 4 is, do you write scripts for your videos, or do you wing everything as you're shooting? It's a mixture of both. I guess I'm sort of a hybrid. It depends. Like if it's more of a structured video and I have specific points that I want to make, I definitely write them down because I am a bit of a rambler. And so if I don't have I guess I'm the same kind of a writer. If I don't have an outline, I just lose track of what I'm trying to say. And so yeah, I just kind of tend to go off base. So yeah, that being said, look, here we go. So that being said, if I have a really strong idea of what I'm trying to say, or it's like a story or something like that, I tend to just wing it. I would say most of my videos, I do have a rough outline, and I do make like notes and bulleted points that I want to talk about. Man, I really need my husband to put some WD-40 on my chair. It's like squeaking every single time I breathe. Does anyone else move around this much when they're filming? It's like, it's squeaking. Apparently I'm moving a ton. It's like, okay, so question number 5, how do you balance AuthorTube with writing? So I think it's just about making sure that you structure everything. For me, what's worked, I talked about this in a recent tag video. I write 5 times a week in the morning before work, and I think what really helps me is separating my writing time from my YouTube time. Just having those as completely different blocks of time is really helpful. because I write in the morning before my day job, it's sort of like I can turn that off the rest of the day. And so whether I'm doing YouTube in the evening or on the weekend or something like that, because I don't write on the weekend. I talked about that in my other video, which is kind of weird to some people, but because I don't do that on the weekend, it clears up a lot of time that I can focus on YouTube. And so I guess I would say I just compartmentalize, you know, it's like my writing time is just like a different block of time, and it's, you know, when I can turn that on in my brain and then turn it off and do other things. But one thing I'm still struggling with a little bit is social media and figuring out, because it can just kind of take over your entire day. But it is really exciting, you know, when people are interacting with you on social media, you want to talk back, you know, and you want to establish those, you know, connections and network and things. And so, yeah, social media can be tricky, just trying to figure out when, you know, when it's okay to do that and when to shut it off and, you know, do other things and kind of resume your real life, you know. Question number 6 is, do you bulk film your videos or shoot one at a time? I definitely bulk film my videos. I just feel like it's so much more efficient to do that. We'll see. I mean, I could see myself maybe in the future doing like, the only kind of video I could see filming one at a time would be a vlog. I just feel like it is a lot of work getting everything set up and then, you know, editing and everything. I would rather have a bulk batch of footage and just like edit it, you know, take my time to edit it. That's just what works for me. That's how I'm able to create more content. I feel like if I did it one at a time, I wouldn't be able to produce as much. Okay, and then question number 7, how much do you have to edit/delete out of your videos? Example, 5 to 10 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, it depends. I think this also depends on whether or not I have a solid outline for what I'm trying to say. Like my Pride and Prejudice video, for example, I mean, I basically just read off of a script, and so that one was almost the entire, I hardly edited anything because it was very well structured and organized. But when it's more of like a chatty style video, or I'm just kind of winging it and going for it, probably 50%, I would say. If it's like, I mean, I've ended up with 20 minutes of footage and then edit it down to 10 minutes. So question number 8, do you edit and upload videos the day they're posting or schedule them in advance? So I definitely schedule them in advance, you know, because I, bulk everything. It's kind of like I have my blocks, and that's kind of how I'm able to do everything, you know, because I am balancing a full-time job with writing and a YouTube channel and social media. You know, you can't discount that. So I definitely have my chunks of time where I will film, and I will batch film several videos, and then I'll have my block of time where I edit these videos, and then so I will schedule them, because also part of it is that I want a consistent uploading schedule. That way people know when to expect videos from me. So I schedule, and I like it that way so far. And question number 9, what do you enjoy most about making AuthorTube videos, and what is the hardest part? One of the things that I really enjoy about AuthorTube videos is getting to talk through problems that I'm having in my writing. Yeah, because it's like, you know, writing can be very isolating, and you can feel like you just don't know how you're gonna work through a particular problem, or like you're the only one having this problem. And so it's really nice to be able to talk about it and share it. And sometimes it can make you feel really vulnerable, just because you're like, what if I am the only one struggling with this? Like, what if I am the only one who can't figure this out? Like genre, I'll just be really open about something. Like, I suck when it comes to genre. Like, I don't know how other people are so well versed in it. Maybe I will talk about this in a future video, but like, I just don't get it, you know, unless you've been, I mean, I read a lot, but that doesn't necessarily mean that like I immediately know what genre this book that I'm reading falls into, unless I go on Goodreads or something and actually specifically make an intention to look at it. I would say the hardest part about AuthorTube is not being able to film an idea when I have it, and especially because I get so inspired by other types of content, you know, and I want to talk about these things as they come out. You know, there's always new books, there's always new movies, and I want to talk about all of them. So I think there's just always new ideas popping up, and so you know, it's hard to kind of keep up with the things that I want to talk about on my channel, and like having the time to do those things. So, and number 10 is, what's your favorite video that you've made? This is really hard. I think my favorite style of video, I mean, maybe my Pride and Prejudice video so far. Well, okay, so in case you haven't seen it, I made a video using Pride and Prejudice as an example of how to build romantic tension. So I kind of outlined the story elements that specifically increase that romantic tension between the two main characters. And it's supposed to be educational for someone that, you know, is writing a romance or, you know, has a romantic subplot, something like that, to really analyze their own work and see if they can use any of these techniques to build their storyline. I just really like if there's a particular movie or book that inspires me, being able to talk about it and also pull, you know, things that other writers can take away from it and from the story, from, you know, the strengths of that work, whatever it is. But also I really like writing update videos, you know, being able to document my journey and talk about it is really validating and it's just really fun, so I enjoy those too. So thank you again to Katie Wilson for tagging me. This was a lot of fun being able to talk about AuthorTube in and of itself. So definitely check out the description box because I'm going to be listing the questions along with the people that I am tagging. I have to make sure that they haven't already done this tag. So, and then if you're tagged, I will link you down below. So thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't already, be sure to click the subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye. My hair always does this.